Bookies! Today we are going to go over dystopian book recs, so let's get started. So in 2022, I made this video, and I think it's become my most viewed video on this platform, so thank y'all for doing that. And I figured that I could do it again this year with some more book recs. So here are some more. This is a part 2, kind of, except a year later, and my hair doesn't look like crap. I didn't read that much dystopian in 2022, so this is a mix of books I read in 2022 and that are dystopian, obviously, and other dystopian books that I thought of that could fit into this video that I didn't talk about in the last one. The first one that I read in 2022 is The Infinity Courts by Akemi Bowman. I loved this book so much. So basically what happens is this is kind of weird, and it might not exactly fall under the umbrella of dystopian, but I'm counting it as a dystopian because of what happens. In the beginning, our main character is just a normal teen girl living her life. She goes to a convenience store to go and sneakily buy some alcohol for her friends. You know, not right, but she didn't deserve what was happening to her, because while she's in there, someone comes and robs the joint, and it's like, oh god. So she's caught in this holdup, and the gunman is very nervous. When there is a little girl that's also in the convenience store, when she makes a noise, and he goes to, like, you know, swing the pistol to go and shoot at the noise, which is the little girl. Our main character puts herself between the little girl and the bullet, and she ends up dying. That's within the first chapter. When she wakes up, she is in this afterlife kind of area that is totally run by this AI. Think Siri, but like differently named, but that Siri has taken over the afterlife. Yeah, it's insane. So this AI that she was like, kind of like, you know, talked to into her phone is now completely in, this afterlife that she's now in, and it's a fight to survive in this afterlife and to not get caught by these AI robot things. It is highly imaginative. This is the most unique book that I have read in recent times, and I absolutely loved it. I highly recommend this. This one I didn't read in 2022, but I'm going to count it anyways, and it's not, again, it's not strictly dystopian, but I'm going to count it for this list because it is kind of dystopian-like. It is Not Even Bones by Rebecca Schaffer. In this one, our main character, her name is Nina, and she works with her mom to basically work this black market kind of area. They capture monsters. Monsters are in and about the real world. They are out and about. They are doing their own thing and everything. They are kind of incorporated into the real world. Kind of not. It's a little fuzzy. But they work in black market selling of these parts. When Nina gets kidnapped and they discover that Nina actually might have a power herself, might not be fully human, she is now up for the chopping block, so to say. So this whole series revolves around her trying to get away from these bounty hunters, trying to fix the wrongs that she has done in her life. It is it's such a good series. It's such a good series. I don't believe I've read book 3. I'm pretty sure I haven't. I'm pretty sure that it's on that shelf somewhere that's over there off camera. But such a good series. Me and my friend Rachel have been buddy reading it, and it's really good. And now I'm going to insert covers because I do not have these books on my shelves. A couple of them are upstairs, I think, with my husband. So the first series, again, one that I read in 2022, is the Gearbreakers series by Zoe Hana Mikuta? I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing their name fully right or not getting it fully right. So sorry. I'm doing this off of memory. But anyways, this Lord. Okay, if you like Pacific Rim and you like Iron Widow, this follows along the same ideal of both of those. This is a world where there are mechanized mecha robot gods, basically, and they have kind of taken over. The story itself revolves around these two people. One of them is a rebel who is intent on breaking in and destroying these, like, big-ass robots. And the other is this, what's called, like, a wind-up pilot, who works with the mechas. Character A thinks that Character B is their mortal enemy, but Character B has a secret. They might also be a rebel. This is a super good series. I thought that book 2 was a little weak, but I enjoyed it for the most part. I really liked it. Speaking of Iron Widow, this one is kind of unique because it is kind of historical fiction-like, but I'm going to count it for dystopian because, again, mechas. 2021, 2022 were the year of mechas. Let's just get that out of the way. So, in Iron Widow, which is so good. Oh my god, it's like one of my favorite books of all time. By Xiran J. Zhao. In this one, our main character is just kind of living their life in Imperial China. I can't remember what time period this is kind of set in. And their sister has went off to basically volunteer for what is kind of the army-like. There are these big monsters that are a threat to China, and they kind of enlist younger teens, or they, you know, you can volunteer. It's kind of like an honorable thing. Anyways, you can go and you can sign up. The males go on to become pilots of like these big mechas that are to fight these monsters, while the females are basically sacrificing themselves to help move the mecha along, because just like in Pacific Rim, you need 2 people to move it. This process does kill most of the female co-pilots. When there is like a true match between like a female and a male pilot, they're just, you know, kind of married off and they're partners for life, because they can, you know, the females kind of have to take on a lot of like the overload and stuff like that. So when they find one that's like worthy enough or whatever. Anyways, her our main character's sister is off doing that, but they return basically in a body bag. They are dead. And our main character is like, bitch, no, I'm going to go fight for my sister. So they go, they join, they test really high. They get with the same pilot that their sister was with. Kills them, takes over the mecha. And the government is like, oh shit, we need this person. So they get stuck with the with this one pilot who has just constantly killed the rest of their companions, and it's our main character's journey to kind of avenge her sister and fight back against the patriarchy and stuff like that. It's so good. I'm not doing it justice by talking about it right now because there's so much that goes on, but it is so good. I highly recommend it. Kind of along like the same like historical fiction vibes that is also dystopian, I'm going to talk about Cake Eater. Cake Eater is super good. Basically it is a Marie Antoinette retelling with a sci-fi vibe, and it has like this steampunk kind of feel to it. So if you're looking for something that's more of like a retelling, but also you want like a dystopian, this is kind of along those vibes. Another one that I read in 2022 is Cold the Night, Fast the Wolves. And it was so good. Basically, the story is set on this ice tundra planet. Our main character, their mom has died. They don't really have any family left, so they are working for this guy to help train fighting wolves. These are like not normal wolves, they're like big wolves. When they are enlisted to help heal one of the star wolves, our main character gets a bond with this wolf, and they plot their escape, and they make their great escape to free this wolf. So it has like a lot of like Call of the Wild vibes to it. So if you're into like Jack London books, stuff like that, this is going to be the story for you. Another one from 2022, Hell Followed With Us. Oh my god, it was so good. So this one has really good trans rep in it. Our main character is trans. They are kind of genetically modified by this uber religious cult to basically bring the end of times. That's what they're going for, the end of times. And the world has kind of fallen to shit because of this uber cult. And it starts off with our main character escaping this cult and finding shelter in this former LGBT shelter for teens that were like kind of kicked out of their house and everything, where he forms an alliance with the rebels that are still left and are still trying to fight back against this cult. So good. It was this author's debut novel, and they did fantastic. Absolutely loved it. I finished this series in 2022, actually just like last month, and it is the Scythe series by Neal Shusterman. In this series, it's kind of a utopia, but utopias also fall under the category of dystopian. And AI has taken over the world, and it's brought a lot of good to the world. Everyone has a job. Everyone has livable income, even if you decide not to work. And you basically have a companion in your head. It's the AI, and you don't die. That is until the Scythes are created. The Scythes are the people that decide, go around and do like ultimate deaths and everything, because the world is getting way too populated for that. Our story follows two main characters in this, who are both apprentice under this older Scythe, and when he suddenly dies, and the two are split up, it is the story of them learning to become Scythes and figure out like morality and ethics, and the ethics of death and stuff like that. It's a really good conversation about death, grief, and the morality of it, and the morality of all of our situation. Death is a constant in this series, and it's just really good. Neal Shusterman does really good with dystopian work, and I think that the Scythe series is his is its best work. And then I wanted to incorporate some older dystopian books that I have read previously. One of them being The 100 by Kass Morgan. I love Kass Morgan's work. You probably recognize the title from the hit TV series. The books are a little bit different, and they're a lot short, so if you want some like quick reads, the 100 series is a very quick read. I think there's only 3 or 4 books in this whole series. But basically what happens is there was a nuclear event that happened on Earth a long time ago. Those who could left in spaceships. Long time ago. So now we are in the now of what's happening, and the spaceship is having some obvious problems. Our main character is figuring out that there are a lot of problems on this spaceship. But before they are able to fully discover what is going on, they are charged with some bogus crime, and because they're juvenile, they're sent to a juvenile detention center, where she makes up the 100 juveniles that are just kind of, imprisoned. With the spaceship failing slowly, there's not much food, there's not much, life support systems are starting to go. The government on the spaceship decides that they should just jettison the juveniles off of the ship. They do that without their parents' knowledge. They get jettisoned to Earth, and it's their survival on this post-nuclear Earth, what happens and everything. It is so good. The TV series is so good as well, but I love the book series. Another oldie but goodie is The Fifth Wave. The third book doesn't exist to me. The third book is absolute crap, but the first 2 are pretty good. The first one especially. I absolutely love the first book. So it follows along with the movie very well. In this book, there is an alien invasion happening, and there are 5 waves that happen to their invasion. The first one being that they have some kind of electromagnetic blast that turns off like all communication, so like no cell phones, your car won't work, no batteries, no nothing won't work. And then there's a couple of floods. There's earthquake, flood, I think. No. Yes. No. Yes, earthquake, flood. There is a huge sickness that sweeps across the earth, so if you are still dealing from the trauma of COVID and you don't want to read about that, skip the 5th wave for right now. And then there is an oncoming 5th wave. Our main character is a survivor of the other waves, And they have been living with their father and their brother until there is an event when they arrive at a survivors camp where their father dies along with everyone else in the survivors camp. Her brother is taken under the guise of protection at this other facility where they are gathering children. For some reason, the government is gathering children, and it is our character's fight to go and rescue her brother. It is a great series, except for the third book. I think that I like the movie even better though. And the last one for this video is going to be The Host by Stephanie Meyer. Personally, I don't really like Stephanie that much, but I really love The Host. If you really liked Invasion of the Body Snatchers when it came out, like, you know, like the old sci-fi movie, this falls along the same veins. So the story revolves around our main character, who is this rebel who gets caught, and what has happened is there's an alien invasion that has happened, and slowly they have been putting like little aliens in each person on Earth. And it kind of becomes a utopia. Like no one speeds, everyone's nice and stuff like that, and the human host itself kind of goes dormant. But when our rebel main character has the alien put into her, it kind of creates a split. So there is the alien half, and then there's her. She is still able to regain control of her body and argue with the alien and stuff like that. And it's our main character's fight to, you know, rid the Earth of this alien invasion, but our alien's quest to figure out who they are and what they actually want in life. So yeah, that is part 2 of Dystopian Book Recs. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!